Hello everyone and happy Valentine's Day. It is Valentine's today here in Australia. So anyway, I was wondering what sort of videos might be interesting, and I suddenly remembered something that we did a while back because we were having so much trouble with the generic dehydrators, and I had gone through three different brands, one being Chef, which actually lasted over 2 years and it luckily had a 3-year warranty on it, or guarantee, and they didn't have any more in stock, so they reimbursed us our money, which I used to buy the next model, which was a generic. Broke down, so I sent it back and received the money back, bought another model, another generic, but by that time I'd had a gutful. So we kept the last unit because hubby is an electrician and he just wanted to tinker with it and see why it broke down, and that's the reason why we hadn't sent it back. Anyway, so I decided to buy a Excalibur. I'd heard so many good things about them, and yes, they are a very good, well-designed model, except for one thing that doesn't suit me. And for me, the shelves are just way too close. I'm not happy with the shelves being that close. There's not a lot of room in between each shelf, although the shelves are really well made. I like the way they've put the shelving together. But you need to dehydrate the food the way I like to do it. I like to cut it fairly thick and pile it up. Well, you can pile it up, you just have to move it around during the process. So then you've got to take out 4 of the shelves, which leaves me with 5 shelves. I think there's 9 in there, and it kind of defeats the purpose of having a 9-shelf unit. So anyway, we decided to, well, we had actually come up with a really great idea. I came up with it and hubby put it to plan. Anyway, let's go for a walk. This is my generic model. Doesn't have a brand on it, it's just a generic. It's got 12 shelves. This is the side of it, and a nice little spot to keep my family pics. This is the inside of it, which has 2 motors, 2 fans, and they always run together. You can't just run one, which is not a big deal. It's no louder than the Excalibur. The Excalibur is quite a loud unit, and this one is very good. So what did we come up with? We bought 2 Excalibur motors, fans and elements, which were not that dear. Had them sent out to Australia, and my husband put them into this unit. He pulled out the old ones and replaced it with the Excalibur units. So I now have a wonderful dehydrator unit which suits my purposes. I can pile up the shelves. When you do pile up the shelves, you've got to move the food around a little bit between drying, but it dries fine. I get a lot done in one go because this particular unit can hold up to 11 kilos of food, which I suppose is about 26 pound of food, and it's just a really good unit. Size wise, the shelves are good, and now with the new motors, it's an excellent unit and the only one in the world. So the little red thing you can see in there is a cutting board. It's a flexible cutting board. So there you go. See? Anyway, what I did, I bought 2 packets of them. I think there's about 6 or 7 in a pack, and I cut them to size and they fit my unit perfectly. So if I'm doing beef jerky, which I haven't tried yet, but if I were to, it would stop the drips and the mess on the shelves beneath, because it's a lot easier just to clean a cutting board. So anyway, what else? fruit fruit rolls, roll-ups are very easy to do on here. If you're doing pumpkin and you want to make pumpkin powder, or if you're doing tomato and you want to do tomato powder, if you've got a beef or chicken stock and you've boiled it down to a fairly thick consistency, you can spread it out onto these little mats, dehydrate it, and then stick it in your food processor, turn it into a powder. I guess eggs, lots of different things you can do where you need one of these trays. You need something where the food just doesn't fall through the shelves. And to buy them on eBay, they're very expensive. So for about $5 or $6 each for each pack of 6, I got myself a bargain. Anyway, I love this dehydrator. It is the best dehydrator on the planet because I'm the only one that's got one. Anyway, if you've got an electrician in the family and you would like to have the ultimate dehydrator, go and buy a cheap generic model, rip out the guts, and get your Sparky, as we call them, to install the new workings. Also, one little tip, the elements that come from Excalibur, they should have a fireproof string, a heatproof string strung through the actual element, and I think that's what stops it collapsing once it gets hot and ruining itself. So hubby had to very, very carefully take the string out of the old unit and thread it through the element of the new motor and the new element, not the motor, but the new element. So might be worth your while looking up a place where you can also order some heatproof string. I guess it's made out of fiberglass, and that way you can string it through quite easily. So you will be needing that. So anyway, I'll show you a couple of other tips. Hang on. Valentine's flowers. Hubby spoiled me. They're beautiful, aren't they? Let's have a look. There's some really, really unusual little plants in there, and absolutely gorgeous. So he spoilt me. Let's see. What we have here are some stained covers on the shelves. When I do carrots, the colour actually stays in the mesh, but I use these to put the food on inside the unit. They've got holes in them, so the air moves around a little bit better, and they're not quite a perfect size. They don't quite fit the shelving. There's a little bit room to one side, but I can still pile quite a bit of food on there. I don't think I could get them any larger. They come in packs of 5 or 6 from the craft store, and if you can get it off a roll, I think in America you can actually buy it off the roll, and then you can cut it to size for any dehydrator, whether it be a round one or one of these or whatever shape they come in. But here in Australia, I couldn't find them off the roll, so I had to buy them from the craft shop, and that's the size they come in. But they still work fine, and I'm happy with them. So, what's new? Not much. Thought I'd share this little idea with you, and I'm so pleased with my dehydrator. So anyway, I'm always happy to speak to anyone that likes to leave a comment. Leave your comments in the comment section, and I'll get back to you very shortly. And I have my Facebook page, She's a Bottler. You're welcome to pop on there, like the page, and you'll get all the updates. And on the page, linked to the top of the page, I have 2 groups now. I have She's a Bottler. No, I don't have She's a Bottler. That's my page. I have my preserving group, and there are 2. So I have one group which is quite strict, and we only share the most up-to-date information on that one. And then I have another group which is a little bit more relaxed, probably for the more experienced canner, where we can have a bit of a chit chat and discuss ideas and what have you. So you'll find those groups linked to the top of my page. Rightio, I better go now, and it's time for another coffee. I need a coffee. So happy Valentine's Day to you all. Hope you have a lovely evening with your honey bunny, and I will be signing off. Bye now.